Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to continue to take a look at some more Build-A-Weapon figures from Star Wars The Force Awakens, and in today's review we're going to take a look at the Resistance hero, Nien Nunb. This is a very cool figure, although I've got to say, if you own the vintage collection version from a few years back, this is probably an unnecessary purchase. There's not a massive amount of difference between the two figures, except a lack of articulation on this one. With that being said, the sculpt on this guy is phenomenal, the paint applications are really nice, and it's just a figure I couldn't resist picking up, and I will touch base on why that is in just a little bit. Before we do, as always, let's take a look at the packaging that Nien Nunb comes in. And here it is. As you can see, you've got Kylo Ren and the Force Awakens logo at the top, with some really cool artwork of Nien Nunb himself down in the bottom. On the reverse side, we've got some of the figures available in the Snow Mission theme of the Build-A-Weapon line. And like with the Space Mission that I gave you a look at in my previous 3 reviews, I have collected all the figures in this theme to assemble the Build-A-Weapon pieces. So at the end of this marathon of reviews, which will wrap up with Kylo Ren, I will give you a look at that assembled piece. So as you can see, some of the other figures available in this theme include Kylo Ren, obviously unmasked, the First Order Stormtrooper Squad Leader, which is a phenomenal figure, and of course Nien Nunb himself. So with the packaging aside, let's take a look at the figure itself. Before we jump into Nien Nunb, I will just quickly give you a look at his Build-A-Weapon piece. Now, like with Admiral Ackbar, this is a backpack sort of accessory, although it does double as a tripod for a blaster cannon, I believe. If you just rotate the legs down like so, you attach some of the other weapons onto the top, and this serves as a base for a blaster cannon. However, alternatively, if you wish to integrate this piece into your action figure, you can fold up those arms or legs like so, and proceed to attach it to Nien Nunb's back. Now, I've got to say, this doesn't have the same appeal that the backpack that came with Admiral Ackbar does. It's something a little bit different. It's nice to see these finally being integrated into the action figures themselves, but it's just not as cool as the sort of jetpack that came with Ackbar. If you want to check out that review, then be sure to hit the link on screen, as it should appear for you to check out. But yeah, it's a throwaway piece, and I'll be honest, it doesn't even look that great once it's fully assembled, but as I mentioned, you'll get a look at that in the last of these 3 reviews. So on to Nien Nunb himself. As I said at the beginning of the review, this is a very similar figure to the vintage collection release that was brought out about 5 or 6 years ago now. God, time really does fly. The only differences really in terms of the figures themselves is the fact that this figure features less articulation. Sculpt and lightness wise, it's practically identical. There are a few differences in terms of colour. I believe that this figure is a little bit taller as well. But other than that, it's just Nien Nunb. There's not really anything about this figure that depicts it as a Force Awakens specific figure, or character rather. He doesn't really look any different to his appearance in Return of the Jedi. It's nice to see that his wardrobe has dramatically changed in 30 years. What I really would have liked to have seen with this figure is the Resistance helmet that he wears during the attack on Starkiller Base. Obviously he wears the X-Wing pilot helmet, very similar to Poe Dameron and Snap Wexley. So it would have been really cool to have seen that with this figure, just to give it something a little bit different, give it a unique look. But we'll get what we're given, and this is what we've been given. So it does lose a few points in that respect. It doesn't offer up anything particularly fresh or exciting, but in terms of an action figure, it's pretty nice. If you don't have a Nien Nunb in your collection, this will serve both a sequel and original trilogy purpose for your displays. So it has that going for it, I suppose. But in terms of new and exciting freshness, it just really doesn't have that much. In terms of articulation, Nien Nunb does feature a ball joint at the head, swivels at the shoulders and swivels at the hips. He does feature the Resistance blaster pistol, which has been included with X-Wing pilot Aste and Poe Dameron so far. And as you can see, the head sculpt is really, really nice. I've got to hand it to some of these later waves of Build-A-Weapon figures. They're really knocking the sculpts and paint applications out of the park. This is a great likeness to the Nien Nunb mask seen in both the original and sequel trilogy, so very, very happy about that. As you can see, he's wearing his trademark waist jacket and red jumpsuit. What I really like about this figure, however, the appeal that it had to me and the reason why I purchased it is because it's very similar in terms of colour and overall look to the vintage Kenner figure from the 1980s, so that was my main reason for picking this guy up. But as I said, if you've got Nien Nunb in your collection already, you're really not missing much if you don't pick up this figure. So I'll leave it up to you guys whether or not you want to add this one to your collection, but if you do want to pick it up for any reason, then be sure to hit the link in the video description where this guy is available to buy at staractionfigures.co.uk. So that's going to do it for Nien Nunb. I hope you've enjoyed this review, and I'll be back with some more very soon. So until then, as always, thank you for watching, keep collecting, and may the force be with you.